ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Shloka number 28, second chapter. अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना। We had read 29th? No. Not read, no? Huh? But we didn't read, right? No, we didn't read, no? But not read, I think. So we'll read afterwards. Here, Bhagavan Sri Krishna gave the teaching on self-knowledge as the means for being free from sorrow. Shoka nivrutti sadhanatvena atmajnanopadeshaha. I don't know why I'm saying Sanskrit. So, the habit, adat se badlu. So, Bhagavan gave self-knowledge so that Arjuna can discover freedom from sorrow. And Bhagavan gave it in two stages, two ways. One is factual, what really Atma is. And Bhagavan said, you are indestructible. As the self, you are indestructible. Bhishma Pitamaha, Dronacharya, your all relatives are indestructible. And since they are not going to be destroyed, why sorrow? And then further he said, you are Satyaha, you are Akarta, Abhokta, Nirvikaraha. Means you are free from doership, enjoyership, any modification. And therefore also there is no basis for sorrow. Arjuna might have shown perhaps this looks little difficult. How can I be free from birth, death, free from all modifications? In fact, I keep seeing myself changing. I see that I know that I was born. I know I will die. So I don't think that I am like this. Then Bhagavan said, even if you think yourself to be born and dying again and again, then also there is no basis for sorrow. Why? Because what is born, that which is subject to be born is born. And what is going to die? Dieable will die. Means that which is destructible, subject to death will die. And therefore there is no sorrow. Another reason he gave, that it is a fact about this type of self, that if it is born, it will die. Anything which is born will die. Jatasya dhruvo mrityuhu. Anything jata, born, is definitely going to have death. And one more fact which we generally do not know, he revealed, dhruvam janma mritasya cha. That which is dead is again going to be born in some form or the other, sometime or the other. And therefore also there is no basis for sorrow. And regarding this body, mind, sense complex, Bhagavan said, that is the nature of anatma, body, senses, mind. What is the nature? They will be unmanifest and they will become manifest, and again they will become unmanifest. That is what the birth and death is. What is birth? Unmanifest becoming manifest is called birth. This body was very much there in the seed form, and now it got manifested, that is what is called birth. In fact, what we are calling the baby is born. We say baby is born. Is newly all of a sudden born? No. Baby was very much there in the mother's womb. So that which was unseen, now it is seen. Further, if we go, even that when it was conceived, that time also it was potentially there. So that which was unmanifest becomes manifest. Then we call it is birth. And what is death? Manifest becoming unmanifest. That is death. So nothing is completely destroyed. Nothing is completely freshly newly born. It is just manifest becoming unmanifest, unmanifest becoming manifest. That's what is birth and death is. And that is the fact about this body, fact about the mind, fact about the sense organs. And fact is to be accepted. If you do not accept fact, then facts are not going to change. They will not oblige. You are a very good person, so I will change. So fact is not going to oblige you. Fact will not change, because that's why it is called fact. So fact is only way it can be handled, and that is by objective acceptance. And we saw two classes. What is acceptance? Because people have got so many misconceptions. Therefore, we elaborately talked about acceptance. So enough I have talked. Otherwise, we will have rejection of my talk on acceptance. Therefore, I will not talk further. But elaborately, 1.5 class or 2 classes we saw. So Bhagavan said that with reference to apariharye arthe, with reference to choiceless situation, ka paridevana, what is the basis for grief? Still people manage to have grief. How? Because they do not see this fact that this is inevitable, choiceless, and it is to be accepted. It is like hitting against the wall. You hit your head against the wall thinking that situation will change. Somebody died, you hit against the wall thinking that by hitting against the wall person will be born again. That doesn't happen. Your hit will be having the bleeding, etc. That alone can happen. The person dead will not come back. So Bhagavan says, Tatra ka paridevana. If this acceptance is understood well and assimilated, then you have got mini moksha. Mini moksha means what? You understand what it means to be free. Practically you are free. Nobody can make you unhappy, because every moment you are ready to acknowledge every situation as a fact. And if something can be done, you are ready to do it. As Pujya Swamiji says, the first thing which makes a person mature is the capacity to acknowledge the fact and decide to do what is to be done. That what is the maturity. So nobody can make you unhappy. Why you are unhappy? Because you do not accept facts. Do you want to be happy? Learn to accept facts as fact. That was the message. Now in the 29th and 30th shloka, Bhagavan is concluding this topic of self-knowledge. And in the 29th shloka, he is glorifying the self-knowledge by saying it is a rare thing, it is a unique thing. The self and self-knowledge is rare and unique. By that, he is glorifying the self-knowledge. In the next shloka. Ashcharyavat pashyati kashchidenam. Any difficulty? The tune is different. It is not like Dehi Nityamavatyo. Like that is not there. Ashcharyavat pashyati kashchidenam. Ashcharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah. Ashcharyavat chainamanya shrunoti. Shrutvapyenam vedana chaiva kaschit. So Bhagavan is glorifying this self-knowledge by saying that this self and self-knowledge is a wonderful thing, is a wonder. How it is wonder? That is being talked about in this shloka. Ashcharyavat kaschit enam pashyati. Kaschit means someone, a rare one. A rare person alone pashyati, appreciates. Literally pashyati means sees. But seeing here is not this sensory perception. But appreciation is called seeing to show the clarity. In English we say, no, do you see my point? It is not that through the eyes you are seeing the points. You see through the mind only. So, here pashyati means very intimately, very clearly appreciates, understands. What? Enam, this self. And when he appreciates the self, what is his emotional state? Ashcharyavat, like a wonder. Why he will be seeing it like a wonder? Because when he appreciates the self, how does he appreciate? I am this limitless self. Self is limitless. Self is Satya, the real, unnegatable, and this unnegatable, real, limitless self, I am. That is how we'll appreciate. And he will have the sense of wonderment, amazement, because all along in his life, he was seeking peace, happiness, security, fulfillment. And he discovers that all this peace, happiness, security, all of them are nothing but Atma, myself. So what I was seeking in my life, struggling to get them through so many activities. When I was small, I was thinking that once my exams are over, then I will be fulfilled. We'll be waiting for that. And the children will think that parents have, see how parents, they don't have to study. My father, he comes from office and he starts TV. Whereas I can't, if I start TV, my mom says, study. So child really feels that when I grow big, no, then I will be fulfilled. Parents will be envying the children. How nice, see, they don't have any responsibility. You know. they will be thinking like that. But children will think what? We will be fulfilled when we grow big, when exams are over. We generally think when exams are over, we will be free, we will be fulfilled. We think it is the end, but it was a new beginning. So when your exam is over, next thing you have to search for job. So you think that once I get job, I will be fulfilled. That's what you think. But your parents have got different plan for you. You are married now. It means you are got the job, so you should get married. Next plan they have for you. You also will be thinking. That is what is called settlement in life. What do you mean? This person is settled means what? He has a job, he is married, And then next one is what? Having children. Then people think that once we have children, then everything is complete. That's what people think. No, after the admission, the children started. It's a big thing nowadays. And therefore, our fulfillment is always postponed. We always think that I will be alright after this. Always, people think that once I am retired, then I will be fulfilled. That's not so. In fact, when you are retired, the whatever attention you were getting in the house, you will be lost. People say, you don't have any job. Please keep quiet. I will give you lunch afterwards. After all office going people get the lunch, then only you will get. So your rating comes down. So and therefore, there is no fulfillment in a particular position. And now, when he discovers this self, the way it is, then he discovers, I am Shanta Swarupa. What I was seeking in my life, I alone am. I am this security. I am Abhaya Swarupa. I am the most secure. I was seeking Ananda. I am Ananda Swarupa. And thus, when he is seeing, he is appreciating himself, there is a sense of wonder. Oh my God, how come I missed? I myself was Ananda and I was seeking for Ananda. So, Ashcharyavat enam pashyati. So, when he is appreciating the self, he has got the sense of wonder. So, what I was seeking, I myself am. It is something like when you are looking for your glasses and your glasses were here only. And you are looking for and you keep on asking. And then somebody finally tells you that it is on you only. So how you feel? Oh, you will say. That is called Ashcharya. Charyate asminiti Ashcharya. What is called Ashcharya? Where you say, the feeling of, that is called Ashcharya. So when you really understand the self, you will have this sense of wonderment. In fact, when you have sense of wonderment, then only possibility is that you have understood. Like for this quantum theory, they say, when you understand quantum theory, you will have the feeling of wonderment. You will see it like a magic. Unless you get that feeling, you have not understood. So similarly, when you understand the self, you will have the sense of wonderment. This is me. That is why it is said, Ashcharyavat kasyit enam pashyati. And very rare person will see this. Why? Because first of all, most of the people are busy with so many other things. You might have tried this. You are attending Bhagavad Gita class or Upanishad class, and you tell your friends, hey, this Swamiji has come. The 1 week series is there. You please come. He will say what? I have to go to club. I have to go to this office. I have to go to this place. I have to go for party. So people are busy, and therefore what they will say? They will ask also that when you go to that class, what do you get? Very enthusiastically you will say what? I get self-knowledge. A little bit, with some air, you say, I get self-knowledge. What is the self-knowledge? I am Atma. Achha, what is this Atma? Satchidananda. So what do you understand? Are you attending classes? I am Satchidananda. Oh, that's all, no? Okay, now I understood, but nothing happened. That much for understanding, this much you are going, and you have been telling I am attending for 20 years. Fool you are. I don't want to be that fool. So people are really not interested. Therefore, you don't force anybody for Vedanta. In my life, I have not done. I don't force. If people are happy with their own life, we need not talk about Vedanta. Pujya Swamiji said this. He said, I can stay with the person for 20 years and I may not talk about Vedanta. Whereas like we are like a newly initiated. So we talk so much. Need not. If person asks, see, your life is such that people will be inspired to ask. That is what real advertisement of Vedanta. You don't have to tell people, come, 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 come. If they see transformation in your life, they'll say, in a secret. No, what is the secret? That why I have seen you were a very restless person, that running after so many things, and nowadays I see you very calm. What is that? Then you tell, it is because of my study of Vedanta. Then you don't have to tell the person. He said, where is that Vedanta class? That is what happens. So most of the people are busy. And therefore, it is a very rare person. Kashit enam pashyati. Out of those who are seeing this reality, this truth about themselves, all of them will not teach. There are two types of people, the wise people. Some wise people, they have got extraordinary compassion, because of which they are ready to teach. Whereas there are many wise people who do not like to teach. They enjoy. And if somebody happen to come, they may share something. But most of the time, they remain quiet. So not everybody will teach. In fact, they don't find the need. Pujya Swamiji used to say this. He said, when I see the audience, there is a talk series, when I see the audience, and I feel that all are okay, all of you are okay, I really don't have to tell you anything, you are okay. So, in my vision, I don't have to ask you to improve yourself. The way you are fine. I don't have the need to change you. The way you are okay. Then Swamiji said, I imagine some problem and then talk about it. Otherwise, in the vision of wise people, all are Brahman. And Brahman doesn't have problem. Therefore, wise person doesn't think that I have to change everybody. I have to flood the whole world with Vedanta. That type of missionary zeal, real wise person will not have. Because all are okay. But if somebody asks that I want to learn this, then he or she may teach. And sometimes there are many people asking at a time, then he may start Gurukula. Otherwise, from his standpoint, there is no need for anything. In his vision, everybody is Brahman. Brahman doesn't have any problem. And therefore, he doesn't have pressure to teach. So, all people will not teach. And therefore, he said, Anyaha, Kashit, some rare person, Ashcharyavat Vadati. He talks about this cell like a wonder. Tatha eva means similarly. Similarly, some other rare person talks about this cell like a wonder. Like a wonder means what? He will be talking about this Atma in a paradoxical language. How they will say? That Atma tadejati tannayejati. Atma moves but really does not move. Atma is present in all the objects, but Atma is beyond all objects. So if it is present in all objects, how can it be beyond? That is how Atma is. Atma alone is appearing as a karta, bhokta, but Atma by itself is not a karta, bhokta. Everything happens because of Atma only, but Atma is free from all happenings. So he will talk about Atma like a wonder, means a unique thing, not like any ordinary thing which follows our rules. That something is having a particular nature, it cannot have opposite nature. If something is black, it cannot be white. Something is stationary, it cannot be moving. Whereas for the Atma, they say Atma is stationary, at the same time moving also. Dhavati, it is running. It goes beyond all running things. And that is how it is remaining stationary, it goes all over. And therefore, this wise person, when he talks about Atma, it looks like some wonderful thing he is talking about. So he is talking about Atma like a wonder. Means it will not be like any ordinary thing he is talking about. And another wonder about talking about Atma, wonderful thing or wonder about Atma is that he is talking about the self which is not available for talking. Really speaking, Atma is yato vacho nivartante. It is beyond words. So he is talking about the self which is beyond words. Therefore also Ashcharya. Why it is this communication is wonderful? Because if he uses known words about Atma, then known words have got the limitations, because known words are meant to convey only limited objects. Our language is designed for conveying limited things. So if he uses known words, then he will be conveying only limited concepts, limited things. If he uses unknown words, then unknown words cannot communicate. So known words he cannot use, because if known words are used, it will convey only known limited objects. And if unknown words don't communicate. If somebody talks to us about some happening in mathematical language, we won't understand. Or our digestion, they talk in terms of chemistry. So we may not understand biochemistry. So this chemical, this molecule go, this happen, and we may not understand. हम तो ये समझते खाते और हजम हो जाता है. We eat and it is digested. And next time we feel hungry. ये छोटे समझ सकते, but they talk in this molecule level, and we may not understand. So unknown things, unknown language will not communicate. Known language will create sense of limitation. And that is why this teaching becomes a wonderful. Still, the teacher manages to convey this. How? He uses known language, but he knocks off the limitation created by the usage of known words, known language. And somehow people understand. So he talks. He is talking of a wonderful Atma, and people also understand. And that is very rare. And then Ashcharyavaccha enam anya shrunoti. Anya, some rare person, shrunoti, listens to this Atma with the idea of wonder, as a wonder. When he is listening to his Atma and a person is very sincere and qualified, he will have sense of wonderment. Oh, Atma is like this. Oh, Brahman has never become Jiva. It just appears as Jiva. Oh. So without becoming bound, without being born, Brahman appears to be born. When I heard this first time, this Purusha Suktam, this sentence, Ajayamano Bahuda Vijayate. Just chanting only. And the one Swamiji from Karnataka, he was teaching this chanting. Purusha Suktam it comes. Ajayamanaha Bahuda Vijayate. That time I did not study Sanskrit much. I mean, not much, very little. I mean, some school must have studied. and he was teaching, and he was getting this Ashcharyavat, Vadati, that I could see. Now I remember. He would say, Ajayapano, Bahudha Vijayate. First of all, I said, what is that to be excited about? Then he explained to me, I also said, this without being Ajayamana means without being born, Bahudha Vijayate. It appears to be born in manifold ways. Wow. So this Ashcharyavat Vadati and Ashcharyavat Shrunati, my Shrunati was not so much Ashcharya because of my incapacity to appreciate. But I remember that he was so excited even while talking about this. And to some extent, I also was, to some extent, not to his level, but my level, I also was really seeing, wow, that Brahman is such that without being born, it appears to be born in manifold ways. So, Ashcharyavaccha enam anyaha shrunoti. Wow. In fact, if you are really understanding Vedanta, it will create sense of wonderment. Some people are so much used to Vedanta, nothing happens. Ye to bahut baar sun liya. Many times I have heard it. So, like, these people are seasoned listener. It is called seasoned listener. Nothing wrong, it is good. You have seasoned, but it should create the impact. And it will create the impact when you understand the implications. And the person who is qualified will understand the implication and Ashcharyavat Shrunoti. And he said, one more Ashcharyam is there. Ashcharyam is wonder. What is wonder? Shrutva api enam. Even after listening to about this self, Kashana na Veda. Some person manages not to understand. After listening to about the self for so many years, still person manages not to understand. Really speaking, it is about me only. And then Pramana and Prameya. Pramana means the means of knowledge. Prameya means the object of knowledge. When they are in contact, knowledge should take place. The Pramana Shastra Vakya coming from the Guru is the Pramanam. Atma is to be understood. It is the subject matter. And Atma is all the time available. And therefore what? Knowledge should take place. But still people manage to not understand. So Bhagavan said that also is Ashcharya. That how people don't understand even though it is myself. So Shrutva api enam vedana chaiva kashit. In a way it is a wonder. From one side, from another angle we say it's understandable. People don't understand Vedanta, it is very much understandable. And why people don't understand? There is a reason for that. One thing is that people do not have commitment to listening. It is something like, when you are browsing and reading the news which you are not so much interested. So you padapat you see. And afterwards somebody asks you, what did you read? You will not be able to tell. Why? Because you have read it in a very casual manner. Similarly, some people listen to Vedanta in a very casual manner. Because at home, these people will say, you are not going out. Okay, so, so they find a place, this Vedanta class, they go. So people are happy. So casual manner. Another thing is, person may not be having necessary qualifications. Viveka, Vairagyadi are not there. Therefore also person doesn't understand. Another thing is that person has got wrong orientation. What is the wrong orientation? This orientation of objectification. Means I want to objectify the self. Means I want to experience the self. This is one of the biggest blocks in understanding this Atma. And this orientation is because, why we have orientation? Because Generally our understanding is when we hear some new word, it will convey some new object, computer. So you are hearing first time, suppose, then there is a new object. If you hear some other semiconductor or something, so you always think that there is some other object. Semiconductor, conductor, not bus driver conductor, not that. So conductor is a substance, so which conducts the electricity, etc. It's called conductor. So always there is a new words, new objects. And generally we used to have this in our study, that first the concept will be made clear and afterwards some demonstration will be there. So in physics, chemistry, we will first study theory and then they will be showing that, oh, this is this object, this is this object. So that type of orientation we have. That first we will see theory, will we study theory, and afterwards we'll get practice. People say that also. Swamiji, first 2 years study I did, but that was only theoretical knowledge. Then I went to Himalayas for getting practical knowledge. And that orientation comes in your way to understand what Atma is. You want to objectify Atma. You want to think that Atma, one day I will see, one day I will hear. Some people say, Swamiji, when I was doing meditation, I heard some sound I heard. Hey, Puji Swamiji, you may have gastric problem, you know. So better you eat well. So, or you see some bright things and that you want to consider as Atma. So that objectification also becomes a block in understanding Shastra. One more block is, which is of course included in Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, but separately mentioning is, because it is important, and that is Shraddha in the Shastra. There are some people who are very intelligent and they have some vairagyam also from the worldly things, but they do not have Shraddha in the validity of Shastra. Therefore, in spite of study for years together, not months, I know some person, that person is so much vairagyam is there from other things, but Shraddha in Shastra is not there. Feeling helpless. How do I know that what Shastra says is right? How do I know? I tell the person that Puja Swamiji has been telling that any pramana, whether it works or not, how do you know? You have to use it. Your eyes are seeing. Your eyes are the means of seeing. How will you know? You have to use eyes. Without using the eyes, you cannot know that eyes are the means for knowing the color. You have to use it. So any means of knowledge, whether it works or not, how will you know? Confirmatively, you will know only by using it. Then only you will know. There is no other way. But people, they get lot of this, what is called confusion about this. How Vedanta is a Prabhana. And many people, they remain stuck there. Otherwise, so many other, they are very intelligent. Some vairagyam, not some good amount of vairagyam in other things. But this Shraddha is not there. Shastra Shraddha. Therefore what? This knowledge doesn't happen. You know, Shastra can give me the knowledge effectively only when I have sense of validity in Shastra. If that is not there, you cannot get it. And Shraddha, one important factor for Shraddha is the grace, is the punyam of last janma. If some obstacle of papam is there, then Shraddha doesn't come. Shraddha in Shastra doesn't come, and sometimes Shraddha in the Acharya doesn't come. Some people have other problem. They have Shraddha in Shastra, but no Shraddha in Acharya. And therefore they always doubt. The Shastra is right, but what you are teaching, based on Shastra, whether it is right or not, whether you are doing right interpretation of Shastra or wrong interpretation? I am not sure. Another level of problem is Acharya Shraddha. Shraddha in Shastra is there. Yeah, Shastra is valid. I know Shastra is a Praman. But whether what you are interpreting, is it right or wrong? Because you are telling that Advaitam is Satyam. But next door, there is a Vishishta Advaita center. In that they are telling that no, you and Brahman cannot be one. You are a part of Brahman. And next door is Advaita. He said you are different and Brahman is different. Totally different. Not even a part. So all three are very scholarly people. They have also studied Nyaya, Vyakarana. They are also great scholars. And they have more following also. In your Advaita, very few people come. Vishishta Advaita, Advaita. The prasadam they give better. So there is bigger following. And therefore there also Ashraddha. And therefore what? Shrutva api. Even after listening, Kashit na Veda. Thus, Atma is a wonder. And it is seen as a wonder. It is being talked about like a wonder. And it is heard like a wonder. And some people, even after listening, they do not know. And by this, the unique nature of this self-knowledge is presented, and also the rarity of this self-knowledge is suggested. That very few people will even go for the pursuit of self-knowledge. And out of those who go for pursuit, very few people will continue to pursue. When we start our Vedanta course, we will have a very big number. And afterwards it is small, it becomes quite small. We start with 50, 55 and then we'll have 30. And out of them, then further we select and it becomes 4, 5 only. It is understand. Bhagavan himself tells, it's a very rare thing. So here Bhashyakara says, Yaha pashyati saha ashcharya tulyaha. So one who is seeing this self, that person himself is like a wonder. What do we mean by it's a wonder? Because very rare. So rare thing is considered to be a wonder. Some in 2017 or 19, the total solar eclipse was there. And they say that that type of solar eclipse will happen after many centuries. It happened after many centuries and it will happen after many centuries. Therefore, it is a very rare Ashcharya. Similarly, the person who is able to appreciate Atma is Ashcharya. Person who is talking about this is a very rare person. Because out of very few wise people, only 1 or 2 will be able to teach. And somebody is listening to it is a wonderful thing. And it is very difficult for most of the people. Really speaking, self-knowledge should not be difficult. Why? It is about myself only. We are not talking about some quantum physics or some subatomic particles. We are not talking about that. We are talking about ourselves. So it should not be difficult. But it becomes difficult because of the factors we talked about. And therefore, Shrutva api Vedana chaiva kashchit. And one who sees, one who is talking about is a very rare person. Ataha durbodha atma. Bhashyakara finally concludes, therefore it is difficult to understand. Because of our wrong orientation, because of lack of qualification, it becomes difficult. In fact, while giving the connection to this shloka, Bhashyakara says that Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, through this shloka, Arjuna, you are finding difficult to understand this Atma. I don't feel bad about it. He says, your not understanding is understandable. Because this Atma is like this. And thus, the rarity of this self-knowledge was present. Somebody may ask this question, Swami, why should we know that Atma-Jnanam is very rare? It will make us little desperate, no? Because Swamiji, rare things, it's very difficult to think. So, Swamiji, in my life, that I always miss the opportunity. When I when I go to bus stop and this everybody got the seat, everybody got they enter into the bus. When my turn came, then the conductor rang the bell and bus left. Puja Swamiji used to say, conductor said right and I was left. There's a right when they want to want bus to go, no, they will say right, and I was left. So Swamiji, this is the situation with me, and when I hear this, that it is a very rare, so I feel a little more desperate. It should say that what? Oh, it is very easy. Then I will feel that at least I have a chance. So why it is talked about this? The answer is that if you have opportunity to get self-knowledge, don't take it for granted. That is the message. It is not to discourage you, dishearten you. It is meant for making you aware of the rarity of the opportunity. Because human mind has this tendency. What? They will be looking for the opportunity. But when opportunity actually comes, you take it for granted. See, like many device or machine you order on Amazon. It's not coming. You are waiting for it. When it comes, it remains unused for so many days. Many people, they don't use the device. They buy the so many gadgets, but they don't use it. So human mind has this opportunity. That when opportunity comes, they take it for granted. When I was staying in Bangalore, our neighbor, she was telling Swamiji, when you decided to leave that Bangalore and come to Coimbatore, that time I felt, oh my God, I thought Swamiji is all the time there. So whenever I want, I can go and study. Now I am busy with this. I will study later. I was there for 20 years. 20 years, she felt what? Anytime I will go. And anytime never came. That's what happened. They tell the story of Jagannath. There is a temple Jagannath in Puri, in the eastern India. One person duty was to supply the pots to Jagannath, because in Jagannath cooking is done in pot. It's a very unique way of they cook. The one over the other they will put the pots, and the fire will be down. And they say first cooking happens in the top. How I don't know, but it happens. And so his job, this pot maker, his job was to supply pots. Every day he will come and he will say, oh, today I am so busy. So tomorrow I will have Jagannatha Darshan. Tomorrow, and whole life is spent without having the darshanam of Jagannath. And therefore, Bhagavan, by showing the rarity, Bhagavan is telling that don't take this opportunity for granted. And that is the message we should take from this. Now, in the next shloka, Bhagavan is concluding this topic about the self-knowledge. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasma sarvani bhutani natvam shochitum arhasi. So Bhagavan says, hey Bharata, hey Arjuna. Bharata is the name of Arjuna. Why Arjuna is called Bharata? Because he was born in the family of Bharata, a great king called Bharata. And in his family he was born, therefore Bharata. Hey Bharata, Dehi. Dehi means Atma, which is manifesting through the body. That is called Dehi. So what really I am is not Deha. I am Dehi. Deha asti yasya saha. One who has the body, one who is manifesting through the body. That Dehi is Nityam Avadhyaha. I am Dehi. This self which is available as I am manifesting as I am, this self is Nityam Avadhyaha, ever indestructible. It can never be destroyed. And it is Sarvasya Dehe. It is present in every body. So we should not think that Atma is present only in good people. Atma is present in every body. And here, using the word, the singular usage, it is suggested that Atma present in all the bodies is one and the same. Bodies are many, but Atma is one. How do we understand this? With the help of the example of Akasha. Pots are many, but the space which is obtaining in all pots is one and the same. We don't say spaces are there. Only one space is there. Only one space is obtaining in all pots. So similarly, our body is like a pot. And in all pots like body, space like Atma is one. So I am this self which is indestructible and which is obtaining in all the body. Tasmat, since this is the fact about yourself, therefore, Sarvani Bhutani Natvam Shochitu Marhasi. Arjuna, you need not have any grief. Sarvani Bhutani, for all the living beings, for any living beings. Arjuna, you need not have any sorrow with regard to any living being. And here what it means contextually, Arjuna, thinking about Bhishma Pitamaha, thinking about Duryodhana, thinking about Dronacharya, you need not have any sorrow. You understand them to be Atma. They cannot be destroyed. And you are not destroyer because destruction is not possible. So Atma cannot be destroyed. And therefore you are not going to destroy what really Bhishma Pitamaha is. What you think Bhishma Pitamaha to be, that is subject to destruction. Because you are seeing Bhishma Pitamaha, Dronacharya, all of them as the body. They are destructible. Whether you destroy or not, they are destructible. But what really they are not destructible, because what really they are is Atma, and that is never subject to destruction. And therefore, no living being can become the cause for any sorrow. If you understand yourself to be what you are, and you understand everybody to be what they are, then there is no basis for sorrow. Whenever you have sorrow in your life, you can be very sure it is because of not understanding what you are and not understanding what others are. Otherwise, there is no sorrow. If you understand yourself to be Satchidanand Atma, I am consciousness, then what can be the basis for sorrow? There can be pain. Physical pain will be there, but sorrow will not be there. And pain and sorrow are different. Isn't it? When you have got knee pain, do you say to the doctor, "Doctor, I have some sorrow in the pain, in the knee"? Do you say that? "I have got head sorrow, I have got back sorrow"? You don't say that. Even your language shows that pain is different, sorrow is different. Vedanta is not meant for removing your physical pain. Physical pain will be there. But this mental sorrow, which is because of your wrong understanding about yourself and the world, that goes away. And yes, one more thing we can say, certain psychosomatic pain means some pain because of your psychological issues, because you are feeling very depressed, you are feeling very frustrated, therefore you may have some backache, etc. Sometimes that's psychosomatic pain. Psychosomatic means the pain which is because of physical factors and psychological factors. That is called psychosomatic factors. Or psychological issues getting reflected or getting transformed in the physical condition, certain undesirable physical conditions. Then pain you have is psychosomatic pain. That can be reduced by Vedanta. Because some people have a headache, you know why? Because they always have these worries about people. They have got this anger about situations. Therefore, they have got headache. In fact, we call the person you are headache. So this person is not headache, but we call the person headache. Why? Because what you do is bothering me. Therefore, we call the person headache. So all those psychosomatic pain will go. So if you study Vedanta well, then your sorrow will go and psychosomatic pain also will go. Of course, psychosomatic pain will take some time because it has gone very deep into your body, your system. But that also will go. Of course, physical pain, if somebody hits you or some cut is happened, the pain will be there. Don't say I am a wise person, so I will not have physical pain. You will have pain. It will be there. Even Ramana Maharshi used to have this. Therefore, he used to apply oil and all. It's not that he was beyond pain. He also used to have pain. His physical pain cannot be avoided. But this sorrow can be avoided. And physical pain really doesn't bother us so much. What bothers us more is our sorrow. Generally, what we feel depressed about is this, that Swamiji, this person doesn't listen to me, this person is jealous of me and all this. That creates more issue. Physical pain you can handle, but this mental pain, that is handled by this Atmik Dhanam. So with this topic of this Atmik Dhanam is concluded. Now from the next shloka, Bhagavan is going to talk about the not having the basis for sorrow in terms of Dharma Shastra. From the standpoint of Dharma Shastra, from the standpoint of worldly benefit, from all angles, Arjuna, there is no basis for sorrow. Those details we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.